And it literally was nothing. It was like a little, I promise you it was a sneaker spaza shop. It was really, really nothing. And it grew. And it was like my baby. This store was like my baby. It was my identity. I was identified with this brand. And it was a huge knock. I had to exit it over things that I didn't think would be an issue. And it was very, very painful. And it took me a long time to get back on my feet. Even mentally, I was really affected by it. I was like completely...
Have you had any setbacks apart from that one?
This was, I've definitely had major setbacks in my life, but this was a huge one. It really, the carpet was completely thrown from under my feet. I don't know what had hit me, and I had to get back up. And I think that's a good lesson, that I learned. You really just got to get straight back up. And 2024, January of this year, I had... I need to get back up on my feet. Sneakers are my love. I can't just let this go because something really unfortunate happened. I can't get, knocked down by this. Let's see. And from the first day of January 2024, I embarked on finding new partners. I knew the suppliers. I knew what to do with sneakers. But it was really, really, really tough to get this going because this time I wanted to do it in a different way. I wanted to do it Sandton City level. Not Rosebank, not Keys Avenue, not like cool and trendy. I wanted to do it the highest level of luxury. And that's when Soul Gallery was born. The idea of Soul Gallery is that we all have a soul. So there's a sneaker soul, S-O-L-E, but I wanted it to be a bit different as we all have a soul. So I changed it to S-O-U-L. And that's the name of the brand, and it's a gallery. So the sneakers are not sneakers, they're art. Everything that we have in our store is art. And from the beginning of this year, I tried to get this off the ground, and it was really, really, really tough. But eventually found the right investors and the right backers and partners to make it happen. And we opened our first store in Sandton City on the 7th of November. We had a banging opening. We had Casper Nyovest, we had Major League DJs, we had Black Coffee, we had Sona, we had, the list can go on and on of who we had performing and attending this event.
You missed out. You should have had me too.
Witness. We didn't know you'll be at the next one.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it was just an amazing event, to really see like my dreams come to life, in Sandton City being the best destination in Africa, in my opinion, and the New York City of Africa, I call it. And I think that there's such potential in this country, and Soul Gallery is more than just like another fashion store. It was like, I feel like as South Africans, we always put ourselves down and we always are less. So we're always looking at America for, we always want to be like Americans and we always want to wear what they're wearing, and whatever's hot in America then comes here. And I think to myself, we're so cool here. We don't know, they're looking to us for inspiration. Americans are always, what's going on in Africa? Let's do African this, African inspired this. For them, we cool, but we're looking at them. You know what I'm saying? And that's where Soul Gallery comes from. It's about bringing the international offering to Africa so that as South Africans, we don't need to be less than anywhere else in the world. We're on the same level. But then on the other hand, we've got local designers, which is my concept, is that I want to mix international designers with local designers and then take Soul internationally with South African inspired designs.
I mean, you're already doing some international stuff. I mean, looking at the fact that you've also fed soldiers in Gaza. I mean, to go from South Africa all the way to Israel to do that, that says something about your international mindset.
Correct,
right?
correct.
So is that something you were taught at home, or it's something where you've always been looking out into the whole world and saying, where do I add value?
So, it's not just adding value in a business sense. It's, I think, a big motto that I live by that my father taught me was with blessings come responsibilities. And I believe in that strongly. And I believe that strongly right here. There's so much that I can do and we can do to give back. And that's what a lot of what Soul Gallery falls into. We want to really give back to our community, to the designers that come right from where we are, and put them on the international stage. Put a designer who, we have Vera card holders in our store, for an example. It's genuine South African ostrich card holders. It would be in a market technically, but we put it in Sandton City. Do you know what I'm saying? Sure. And it's bringing people up with us. That's what we want to do. We want to bring people up with us and South Africans up with us. And we really, we'll have next year launching is Soul Gallery Outreach, which is going to be going into the townships and finding young entrepreneurs that we can maybe help, whether it be with school fees or whether it be with clothing or sneakers, or just to get them where they need to be, help people with driver's license, just to get that next push, to get that job, to get that interview, to really try help them as to on their journey and see what we can do for them. That's. I mean, Soul Gallery. It's just at the beginning. We've had an amazing. We invite all of you to please come visit us in Sandton. It's a beautiful store. It's got a real atmosphere, and I think it's probably one of the nicest stores in Sandton City, hands down. And we're opening. We're opening in the V&A next year in the waterfront.
Yeah.
We'll be opening in Gateway soon after that, in Durban, and hoping for Mall of Africa too. But it's really exciting, and I would love you all to come see it, because I see Soul Gallery as a big moment for South Africans, not just for myself. Like I said at the beginning of this interview, that if I can do it, anyone can do it. As hard as it may seem and crazy and chaotic as this interview is, I promise you, if you put your head down and focus and never give up, you can do it. And seek no approval is my main line, as I like to say. You can't seek approval.
No approval. Right. So as we draw to a close, right, what advice do you have? I mean, you are young yourself, but what advice do you have to other young people that might be struggling with some of the issues you've struggled with, and also want to see themselves as people that are of significance and adding value to society?
So I think definitely, you know how I have a lot of people come to me and be like, I'm going to drop out of school and be like you. I want to be like you. And I'm like, guys, it's not for everyone to drop out of school. You need education. Education is important. As much as it wasn't for me and I couldn't do it, I think it's a very important thing that you must follow the traditional path in certain ways. But while you're following the traditional path, find something you're passionate about. So whether it be sneakers, music, art, sports, find something you're super passionate about and focus on that. Focus at becoming the best at what you love, not something that you don't love. If you love soccer, practice every single day. And then, you could be the next superstar from your community. Or if you love sneakers, just keep trying. I promise you, put it on your WhatsApp status, put it on your Instagram. Keep trying to hustle sneakers over and over again, because eventually there's that one moment that you look behind and you're like, oh, wow, I went from one shoe to selling 10,000 pairs of shoes. You know what I'm saying? Follow the process and just never give up, and find something that you love and you're passionate about. Because if you're not passionate and you don't love it, how can you give it your all?
Do you have any closing words for maybe give these guys advice? See how they're looking at us.
Closing words is just, we'll have Panado outside waiting for everyone with a glass of water if anyone's got headaches. No, closing words just to thank everyone, really. I'm humbled to be here. And thank you all for coming to listen to us and witness. Thank you so much for inviting me here. It's really an honor and a privilege. And I'm excited to see what we can do together, and what goes out on your YouTube page. I've been following some of your videos and seeing what goes on, and I'm just very honored to be part of it. So thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you,
I appreciate you, man. Well done.
So much.
Well done. Isn't that phenomenal? And what we ought to do is duplicate and replicate and have as many young people like this as possible, as much as we can, throughout the country, throughout the world, throughout Africa. I mean, that's the only way that our country can prosper. It's the only way Africa can prosper. Nobody is coming to give us solutions. We've got our own solutions right here, and our human capital, the people that we have in our country, are phenomenal. And we have to do whatever it takes to unearth that potential out of each and every one of us. Okay, let's give him a round of applause again. And if you are watching this online and you're not inspired, I don't know what's going to inspire you, but sit it out. Listen to more interviews similar to this one. We interviewed dynamic, inspirational people in South Africa. Sorry, there was just a bit of feedback. We interview change makers, entrepreneurs, and business people that are doing amazing things in South Africa and abroad. From myself and my team, broadcasting from the It's More Than Just Money Business Breakfast in partnership with TAF, Trust for Urban Housing Finance. Shout out to them. In partnership with them, It's More Than Just Money. We'll see you again in the next episode. Ciao, ciao.